On tonight's CTV News, the Insurance Council discusses what's holding up settlements. A housing advocate criticises the City Council's new proposal to move into the affordable housing market, and old vehicles come under police scrutiny. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. The Insurance Council of New Zealand has released an update about progress of insurance settlements in Christchurch. Many residential house owners are still waiting for claims to be settled, while almost 3/4 of the commercial claims have been paid out.
1,000 days have come and gone since the earthquake, and still over 46% of residential insurance claims in Christchurch are unsettled. But the Insurance Council of New Zealand says they're happy with the progress being made in Canterbury.
Considering that we could only start rebuild about 18 months ago, land was shaking, building guidelines had to be out there, and a whole lot of other stuff as well. So we're making good progress.
Insurance companies are handing out over $4 million a day for residential claims, a total of $10 billion over the past 3 years. If the pace of the rebuild maintains the same pace, over 13,000 rebuilds will be completed by the end of the year. But resolving current residential disputes is key for local insurers moving forward. They're hoping to maintain their momentum in the coming year.
Things are going well. We've had 6,000 houses built in the Canterbury area in the last 12 months, much of that from insured money through people who've taken to manage their own repairs. 2014 is going to be bigger. We're looking at about 7,000 properties to be rebuilt over that time.
Delays from building consents being issued by the Christchurch City Council have held many insurers up. There's still over 40,000 claims in the pipeline to be settled. But 2014 is about identifying key issues and working with central government and the Christchurch City Council to solve them.
A number of challenges ahead. They come at the insurer level, the EQC level, the local government and central government level. Everybody recognises what the challenges are. We're working together to find the solutions in some of the more difficult areas.
Although there still remains progress to be made in the residential area, over $2 billion was settled in the commercial claims last year. The ports of Littleton, Canterbury District Health Board and Housing New Zealand received between $300 to $400 million each in payouts. While Christchurch's shaking ground has settled down and the pace of building consents is picking up, the Insurance Council predicts the insurance managed rebuild repair program will be completed by 2016. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Chief Human Rights Commissioner David Rutherford addressed the City Council's Earthquake Recovery Committee of the Whole today. The Commissioner spoke about his report on human rights in the Canterbury earthquake recovery. Patrick Phelps went to the meeting.
This report is not a sort of a complete look back and sort of critical analysis of what's gone wrong and what's gone right.
The Chief Human Rights Commissioner, David Rutherford, speaking about his report published in December last year. He says there is nothing in the world like his report in terms of analysis of human rights in a disaster recovery.
We decided when the earthquake hit, we're dealing with the recovery really, was that we weren't going to sit back and wait 5 years to do some sort of inquiry into what went wrong.
One of the key points the Human Rights Commission has advocated is that people should be at the centre of the recovery from a disaster the likes of which New Zealand has never seen. Mr Rutherford says the striking thing about the recovery is everyone involved is working very hard.
It's like we're all in a swimming pool with about 30 lanes, with really big lane markers. And we're all swimming, sometimes different strokes, as fast as we can towards the end, which is to help the affected people.
The Human Rights Commissioner, David Rutherford, says there will still be vulnerable groups going forward and issues of psychosocial harm arising. Mr Rutherford believes the Council can play a leading role in solving some problems. On the whole, Council were supportive of the idea. Speaking to the Commissioner after the meeting, he says this winter brings challenges for vulnerable people, many of whom aren't coming forward.
I think in some cases it's people don't know where to go, and in some cases people don't want to bother people because I think someone else is worse off than them. I mean, what we should be trying to work out is who is out there in a cold, old and mouldy home.
He's supportive of Recovery Network CanCern's idea of getting people out door knocking to find the vulnerable people. Others at risk are the elderly, as in cold houses, they're more susceptible to health issues. He says council could lead a group effort to track down those in need of help and then implement solutions.
Actually, at this stage, we're not going to fix everyone's homes permanently by winter, but we need to put in temporary fixes, find solutions so that they don't go through another cold winter.
Mr Rutherford says the other major vulnerable group is that of migrant labour, which presents challenges New Zealand hasn't needed to deal with until now. Patrick Phelps, CTV News.
A housing advocate is criticising the Christchurch City Council's proposal to move into the affordable housing market.
The Christchurch City Council is weighing up whether it should take another step forward into the city's housing debate. Yesterday, the Housing Committee voted unanimously, recommending the council begins consulting with the public over whether or not it should be providing affordable housing for the city. But a housing advocate has turned critic. Hugh Pavletich is warning the City Council to learn from its David Henderson mistakes of the past.
What we really don't need is any more of this rinky-dink sort of development ideas. We need to focus on the real issues, and the real issues are land supply and infrastructure financing.
Christchurch lost about 10,000 homes in the earthquakes. Up to 25,000 tradespeople are expected to move to the Garden City to help with the rebuild. Committee Chairman Glenn Livingston has been mooting since late last year to follow Housing New Zealand's lead in rescuing homes from the red zone instead of building new. Relocating homes could save about 20% of the building price. But the City Council is running out of time. Sarah wants red zoned land cleared by the end of the year, and available housing stock is fast declining. But Pavletich says relocated red-zoned homes are more of a temporary fix, and it's just a plaster on top of a bigger problem.
That is a very, very small part of a major problem, just relocating existing housing. So we need to be focusing on actually getting affordable housing in at a far greater pace here in Christchurch, and particularly out on the fringes.
Building houses on the fringe of Christchurch is a line he's been spouting for nearly 10 years. He believes they would only cost about $250,000 and says it won't be long before the government and the City Council start listening.
We'll find that when the council enters into an accord with the government, that'll be in fact the case, that we'll see much more of that happen, and it can't happen soon enough.
But until Pavletich gets his wish, he'll have to settle for the plaster. Councillors have asked staff to identify land where a small scale of up to 10 units of cheap rental accommodation could be trialled. The Tenants Protection Association knows of many people struggling to find affordable accommodation. The association is praising the Housing Committee for the move. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Anyone who owes money to the City Council shall no longer have their identities kept secret. Following a Finance Committee meeting last week, names of individuals and companies on the debtors list shall be made public.
Until now, those owing money to the council have only been discussed in public excluded meetings, but not anymore. Chairman of the Council Finance Committee, Raf Manji, has changed the rules. From now on, the City Council will publicly discuss debtors owing more than $10,000. Councillor Raf Manji says it's to show people what's on the other side of the ledger. Debts allegedly of nearly $16,000 plus GST for a resource consent owed by Woods Mill Limited were discussed at last week's open meeting. Finance Committee members also discussed in the meeting they'd been trying to pursue Woods Mill directors Richmond Painter and Sean Johnson for the debt. Also listed was ACB Contracting, currently in liquidation, for whom City Council has agreed to write off a debt of nearly $65,000 plus GST. The cost of pursuing the debt was almost $10,000.
He might have lost the Christchurch East by-election, but National's unsuccessful candidate is revving up for another go. Marcus Gibbs reports.
Matthew Ducey missed out at last year's Christchurch East by-election, lagging more than 4,500 votes behind new MP Porter Williams. But at this year's general election, he's trying again. Waimakariri MP Kate Wilkinson is stepping down after the election, and the chance of taking her place had Ducey thinking about his political future.
Yeah, I really enjoyed standing in the by-election. I thought we ran a good campaign, and I'm quite excited about the thought of possibly standing again.
This was his response just a few weeks ago when CTV News asked Ducey whether he would be standing. Nominations for the seat closed 2 days ago, and Ducey has confirmed he's put his name in the hat to represent National. At the end of last year's by-election, the Earthquake Recovery Minister hinted National would be supporting him if he chose to stand.
I think Matt's been an outstanding candidate, and I think he's put himself into a very good position for whatever he might decide to do in politics in the future.
What about the WIMAC seat?
Well, I'm not going to speculate about what seat might go where. All I would say is that he's been an outstanding candidate.
Well, I think it's good to have the support of not only ministers, the whole party, and of course family as well. And you know, it's people like that round you that provide that support and help you think about what the next step is.
Labour MP Clayton Cosgrove would most likely be facing him off for the sought-after seat. Cosgrove lost it to Wilkinson at the last election. Rumours of Ducey standing in the general election have been circling since the middle of the by-election. Back then, the National Party was brushing them off.
I went into the by-election, thinking I would try and stand again in that seat. But now, as we know, Kate stepped down, and there's a chance for me to stand in my own electorate.
The National Party is keeping coy on the number of nominations it received for the seat, but it has seen strong interest from candidates. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Coming up, what are Christchurch's most dangerous jobs?
Wild Spirits covers the biggest, most extreme sports events across the planet. Surfing to base jumping, snowboarding to motocross. This series will sure to have you on the edge of your seat. Wild Spirits, Wednesday nights at 7, CTV.
It's on, like Taiwan.
Freeze, police!
Don't worry, I've got my vest. I'll just slip this on. That's better.
Take Note Ferrymead is an important part of the local community, providing real personalised service. Locally owned and operated, our store has a New Zealand Post Agency service and lotto, all part of meeting the needs in our local area. Because we're local, we tailor our range and special offers just for you, including a great range of books, stationery, cards, magazines and gift ideas. Take Note Ferrymead, open 7 days.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
Don't worry, I've got my vest. I'll just slip this on.
Hi, I'm Rob Cope-Williams.
I'm Robin Frew, celebrant for Canterbury Christian Funeral Services. I'm there to speak for people who can't speak for themselves.
Robin and I know that as celebrants, it's our role to make the day as special as it certainly can be. It's a celebration of your loved one's life, so it's important that we do everything we can to make it memorable.
You can't underestimate the value of a funeral service. Please contact Rob or myself at Canterbury Christian Funeral Services.
Join us tonight at 6 for DW World News. Informative, lively, international news, breaking stories and global developments. DW News, weekdays at 6 p.m, right here on CTV.
Thousands of residents make claims to ACC each year for workplace injuries. So what are Christchurch's most dangerous jobs?
A hammer in hand and climbing high ladders is one of the most dangerous jobs in Christchurch. Last year alone, over 7,500 trade workers filed an ACC claim. Christchurch has had an influx of people over the past 3 years, entering the workforce to help with the rebuild, especially into the construction industry. However, compared to 5 years ago and less trade workers in the city, there were more workplace accidents. Over 9,500 trade workers made an ACC claim in 2008. Which means today workplaces are doing all they can to keep their employees out of harm's way.
There's nothing quite as bad as having to go to someone's house and tell them that their husband was killed at work today because of something you did badly. And I've got to say, there's a huge focus on safety in this rebuild. And we want to make sure that the community and our people are really thinking about that all the time.
But for many places, they're looking outside of the square to keep places safe. A large emphasis has been placed on traffic management, reducing the amount of road cones and signage, keeping the roads less congested and safer.
You know, all it takes is one slip and a car's through a barrier like that. They're hurting themselves, they're potentially hurting our people. We need to stop that happening.
Forward-thinking initiatives on current work sites are helping maintain a high standard of safety. Even what you wear matters. Long pants and shirts help protect workers against the harsh sunlight and potential burns. With a city to rebuild, tradesmen always spend the first part of the morning planning the day's work and potential hazards.
This is a pretty key piece of organisation in terms of how the site work is going to be undertaken, and to make sure everything is done safely and everyone goes home safe at the end of the day.
Last year, 54% of workers in the construction industry who made ACC claims were trade workers, followed by 18% who were plant machine operators and assemblers, and 13% just simple handheld tasks. But with trade workers one of the most dangerous jobs, retail workers face the least amount of injuries in the workplace. Just over 1,000 claims were made to ACC, down from 1,300 5 years ago. But with safer workplaces in Christchurch, ACC still receives thousands of claims a year for workplace injuries. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
If your car's not up to scratch the next time Christchurch police stop you, you could be in for a fine. Marcus Gibbs explains.
You've seen them out at night, making sure drunk drivers stay off the roads. But next time you're stopped, police will be taking a closer look at your vehicle as well. Christchurch police are cracking down on cars that aren't roadworthy. It's more than a round of tyre kicking. The cars have been checked from top to bottom. Windscreen wipers, indicators, rust and lights are just a few of the things police want to see in tip-top shape.
Back tyre, balding, wear marks are showing.
But it takes a gutsy driver to leave their car outside of a police station with bald tyres, chips in the windscreen, and to top it off, no warrant and no registration.
Not a good look parked in front of the old police station.
It's an expensive mistake for this car's owner, as it's not up to standard. The vehicle's branded with a green sticker, forcing it off the road.
And without its warrant of fitness, you're looking at about $400 in tickets.
It's a lesson for all Cantabrians. Any vehicles deemed dangerous could be impounded by police, and if you manage to escape that, you'll be in for some hefty fines. A fine for a bald tyre is $150. If you're caught not wearing a seatbelt, that's another $150. If you don't have a current warrant of fitness or a current registration label, you'll be slapped with another $200 fine per infringement. The nationwide campaign coincides with changes to warrant of fitness regulations, which came into play last month. Owners of vehicles weighing less than 3.5 tonnes registered between 2004 and 2008 require annual checks rather than 6 monthly ones. From July, vehicles registered since 2000 will only need annual checks.
So we really want to focus on making sure that all the cars are up to standard throughout the warrant of fitness period, so we have no safety issues whatsoever.
Around the country, 3.5 million vehicles are stopped every year, giving police the perfect opportunity to cull cars that aren't roadworthy and praise the ones that are.
So yeah, this vehicle is all up to standard. It's a really good condition, no problems whatsoever.
The Motor Trade Association opposes the warrant changes and says it will take time before it's known what effect the move would have on road safety. The association warns police won't have time to give the cars a proper check. But Christchurch police say the goal is to shake up motorists, encouraging them to keep the vehicles up to standard. The campaign's running over the next 3 years, and police are hoping by 2017 less of these will be handed out. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Canterbury farmers looking for love may be in luck this Friday. The Hines Young Farmers Club has arranged the speed dating event Farmer Wants a Wife to help rural workers find that special someone. Treasurer Alistair White says the idea initially came about selfishly. He says the group were all single and needed to meet people. Due to the hours of work and the roster system where farm workers don't get every weekend off, finding someone can be very difficult. The event has people signed up from Christchurch, Timaru, North Canterbury and Geraldine. It will be held at the Ashburton Racecourse at 6:30 p.m. Well, still to come, we go behind the scenes at a softball match for the upcoming National Championships. Every Tuesday night, I talk to the newsmakers and decision takers to get answers to the questions that have gone unanswered. It's time to listen carefully, see clearly, and understand the real issues. Join me for Point of View, Tuesday nights at 8:30 on CTV.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Avoid the cowboys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring, moving company.
The Pawn Shop is buying gold now. Got a half-broken necklace? The Pawn Shop will buy it. Old earrings you haven't worn in years? The Pawn Shop will buy them too. The Pawn Shop will buy anything gold. Beautiful, broken, treasure or trash, the Pawn Shop will give you cash on the spot. Come along to the Pawn Shop to view our huge range of new and used jewellery. Everything's as good as gold at the Pawn Shop. 77 Ferry Road and 396 Blenheim Road.
Make your next evening out one to remember at Tutto Bene Italian Restaurant and Pizzeria. Enjoy a lively, authentic, friendly Italian dining experience. Our dishes are made with fresh, local produce, prepared and cooked to perfection. Relax and indulge in mouth-watering Italian cuisine. With gluten-free and vegetarian options available, BYO wine is welcome. Tutto Bene. Dine in or take away. Open 7 days from 5 p.m.
Let's face it, everyone has an agenda. And guess what? So do I. Every week, I'll pick 3 stories that grab my attention. Agenda with me, Brent Goff.
Last night, a warm-up game took place between Japan and Papua Nui for the forthcoming Softball National Fast Pitch Championship. Gordon Finlater was there.
We're down here at Papua Nui Domain, where behind me the Papua Nui Tigers are taking on a Japanese university squad. Now this match is in preparation for the National Fast Pitch Championship, which gets underway in Christchurch on Thursday. The Japanese university side is taking part in the national championship for just the second time. It's seen as basically a good learning curve for their players to get some experience. Also, some of the Papua Nui players behind me are part of the Canterbury Red Sox team, so a good chance for them to get a last hit out before Thursday's action.
The Japanese universities team will join 12 provincial teams in the men's portion of the NFC this week. The competition is structured so that they can't progress to the finals. However, the New Zealand teams will have to be on their game to avoid dropping points in the round robin when they come up against them. We spoke to the team's translator, Curtis Tompkins, about what their inclusion into the tournament means for the team.
Oh, it's huge for these boys. I mean, talking to the coaching staff and these guys, they really respect what New Zealand has for softball, being the world champs, and still really respected all around the world for a long time and as the best country. So for them to be able to play against people that are trying to get into the Black Sox and trying to play at the highest level, it's a huge honour for these boys. So these guys are all university students. They're all second and third year university students, so not even the oldest group. They're all around 20 to 21 years old, playing in university only. So this is probably their first chance to play against men, and they're the best men in the world, so it'll be an interesting tournament for these boys.
Curtis is no mug on the field himself, and when he's not translating for the Japan team, he will be lining up to represent North Harbour.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough to try and juggle the two teams and know which team I want to back more, but I guess really with North Harbour it's trying to push ourselves. We've got a really young team and trying to push ourselves there a little bit further and trying to break into that top four, but then as well for these boys to try and get them as far as they can go as well, so it'll be good fun.
Last night's match was also a great chance for some of the Papanui youngsters to test their skills against some of Japan's best, as we found out from Papanui coach Colin Sutherland.
Yeah, definitely. We sort of pride ourselves on trying to develop our junior players, and we've got 2 in the junior Black Sox, so and tomorrow night's another opportunity for some younger guys coming through just to get a chance to play against an international team, so I think it's a great opportunity.
With the National Fast Pitch Championship getting underway at Cull Stadium on Thursday, we'll be hoping Canterbury can defend the title. However, the Japanese are sure to bring an exciting style of play to the competition.
They've got speed. They play the short game really well, and they're fast on the bases, and they're just good all-round skills. Really good on defence, and they do the basics really well.
Gordon Finlater for CTV Sport.
If you're driving around the central city, CTV's new traffic update will assist you navigating the repairs taking place.
Hello travellers, we know roadworks around the central city may be impacting on your journey times. To help you minimise delays, here's an update on what's happening with the roads this week. Lane reductions are in place around the intersection of St Asaph and Barbados Street. This will cause delays, especially in peak times. As an alternative to using St Asaph Street, we recommend using Morehouse Avenue. Durham Street remains busy in peak hours, and we suggest using alternative routes south such as Fitzgerald Avenue and Manchester Street. To keep up to date, watch CTV News first at 5 this week to hear more about what's happening with the Central City roads. And in the meantime, visit the Transport for Christchurch website.
And finally tonight, although I know it's a very important part of our bulletin, it's our regional weather.
Kia ora and good evening Canterbury. A cool southwesterly airflow is developing over the South Island, which will bring some showers to some areas tomorrow. Taking a look now at the weather for your area. Kaikoura sits on 10 overnight. They're mostly cloudy, but morning showers clearing with a high of 18 tomorrow and cool southwesterly winds. Hanma showers at first clearing after 10 overnight, with cloud breaking during the afternoon and moderate southwesterlies rolling through. Your daytime high will reach 18 degrees. Rangiora and Kaipoi sitting on 10 overnight with cool southwesterly breezes in North Canterbury as well. Showers developing during the morning and cloud during the afternoon with a high of 18 degrees. Christchurch also on 10 overnight with another cloudy day in store. Temperatures will be quite cool, although the high will still reach 18 degrees with morning showers. Ashburton dull and cool for your Thursday with showers at first after 10 overnight, but dry weather later on and a daytime high of 18 degrees. And Timaru morning showers after 10 overnight, then mostly cloudy tomorrow with a high of 18 and cool southwesterly winds. In other areas now, Most areas sitting on 10 overnight, Arthur's Pass and Greymouth on 7 and 8 degrees. Then all areas sitting between 17 and 18 tomorrow. Most areas starting off with showers and ending with a cloudy afternoon. Arthur's Pass missing the showers but still having cloud as well. Looking ahead for Canterbury, low cloud on Friday morning, breaking with sunny periods during the afternoon and moderate northeasterlies developing. Fine and mild on Saturday and Sunday with sunny periods and high cloud, moderate north to northeasterly winds as well. That's it from me. Have a great night. We'll have another update for you tomorrow.
And that's CTV News for Wednesday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.